gap between Canada's top CEOs and their employees. So let's take a look together. On average, in 2023, CEOs made 210 times more than the average Canadian worker. And as of this morning, many of those executives will have already made more in 2025 than the average Canadian worker makes all year. And Scott, we are edging ever closer to that time of 1054.
1054. And so this is based on an average salary of the top 100 CEOs in the country making $13.2 million. So that means in the first 10 hours of the first working day of the year, which is today, 1054 will be the time that these CEOs make $62,000, and that is the average pay of the average Canadian across the board. Take a look at some of these numbers as far as how they're getting to this number. As you mentioned, that's about 210 times more than the regular worker makes, but that is well up as well from just 20 years ago when the average CEO made only 104. So there's a growing gap as far as how much more CEOs are making more than the rest of us. Here's David McDonald. He's from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives as far as explaining that gap now between the highest CEOs amongst us and the regular working Canadians.
CEO pay, which is tightly linked to the profits of their companies. The profits of the companies are still at historic highs. They're just not quite as high as they were in the inflationary period of 21 and 22. They're certainly at the high end of the range for all of the years prior to that, but they're slightly lower. And so as we see this link between CEO bonuses linked to profits, profits come down to slightly more normal levels, are still very high, and the bonuses come down a little bit as well.
And this list is mostly made up of men. There's 3 women on the top echelon here. And on average, this is they're working for 21 years for the same company, so they're hiring within. Here's a partial list of the top 10 anyways. The CEO of GFL, for example, Environmental, they lead the list at $68.5 million. Restaurant Brands, just over $39 million. Suncor CEO, almost $37 million. So at that time, at 1054, that's almost triple the amount that the average Canadian will make in a year. So big numbers out here, and 1054, that's time to watch.
Okay, got it. And I guess these guys also have big money in the stock market. And